Hey, what's up, guys? Just want to do a quick video here. Just want to catch up on the PWG stuff. The last two shows of 2012, and we have DDT4 2013. Could you believe it? Another DDT4. This is actually the 5th DDT I've reviewed on the channel. That's crazy, man. Time flies, I'll tell you, man. But yeah, I'm sorry about all the data reviews, but I think after this video, I'll be all caught up, and I just got to watch Wrestle Kingdom. Then I'll pretty much, you won't see any reviews that have been like 1 or 2 months old. So, yeah, so here we go. We have failure to communicate. Kenny Omega actually graces us with his presence in PWG. I have to say about this show, definitely one of the best PWG shows of the year. I'm going to give it about an 8.5. My one problem with the show is it's very, very inconsistent. You know, you would have, you know, a great match between Elgin and Eddie Edwards. That was the best match Elgin and Edwards have had by far, in my opinion. They had a great match, second match on the show. And then the card just kind of, you know, goes downhill. And then Davey and Sami Callihan had another great match. The intensity was unparalleled in that match. They had a great match in AAW, so you get to see them wrestle again here. Which is the better match? I'm not really sure. Probably the AAW match, but I feel like in PWG, sometimes the crowd kind of propels the match to that next level, so they're pretty much on the same level. Great match between Davey and Sami. And then the card kind of, you know, goes back downhill. I thought Rich Swan and Roderick Strong just didn't make for a good combination. Willie Mack and Brian Cage Tayler, wasn't really feeling it. You know, Willie Mack's lost a lot of steam, and I just think it's fucking retarded, that chant that they chant at Brian Cage. They chant, get your shit in. It's just so annoying. I just wish they would just stop chanting that. But yeah, great double main event. Omega teaming up with El Generico to take on the Young Bucks. Obviously, Kenny Omega come back, expect something special. He's going to kind of become like the Rock of PWG. He basically said he's going to try to come back as much as he can, kind of try to grace everyone with his presence whenever he has the chance to. So yeah, awesome finish with the Croix Wrath off the top rope, and Generico doing the brain buster on the top turnbuckle. That was an awesome finish to end the match. Definitely, I would say, you know, Omega and Generico and the Young Bucks, one of the top 5 PWG matches of the year easily. And I thought the main event was extremely fun, extremely exciting. You had Steen defending the PWG World Championship against Ricochet and Michael Elgin. I thought it was awesome, man. Elgin and Ricochet just have so much chemistry. And, you know, Kevin Steen, you got to give him credit, man. He's been delivering in PWG and Ring of Honor, you know, definitely ever since the end of the summertime. I think he's been on, I think his ROH World Title reign, while I'm at it, it's been spectacular ever since October. It's really interesting, and he's been delivering the goods too. So failure to communicate, very, very inconsistent, but 4 amazing, almost amazing matches on it. So you get 4 great matches, but very, very inconsistent though. So I'll only give it about an 8.5, even though it does have some of the best PWG matches of the year on it. Next up, we have Mystery Vortex. This is definitely one of the best PWG shows of all time. One of the most consistent pro wrestling shows I've ever seen. I think every single match was at least 3.5 stars. I thought it was that good. So this is when Adam Cole defeats Kevin Steen for the PWG title. It ended up being a guerrilla warfare match. Wasn't too thrilled about that. I think a lot of people want to see Steen get away from that stuff. You know, Steen's going to kill himself. He wrestled the guerrilla warfare match, and then he wrestled the ladder war, you know, a couple weeks later. So, you know, he's definitely got to think about slowing down, man. But yeah, that match between Steen and Cole was very, very short. You know, it was still great though. There was really 2 big spots that really made the match. The Fisherman's Buster on the set of chairs, that was crazy. And then you know, I think Cole did the straight-jacket German suplex to Steen on a bunch of thumbtacks, which actually came off really well. So yeah, that was great. Eddie Edwards and Roderick Strong had 2 great matches on the show. They had a blockbuster opening match against the Young Bucks, really exciting. Edwards and Strong, they just make such a great combination. They actually teamed up in Noah a couple years back as well. So like I said, man, you had Joey Ryan's Farewell against Scorpio Sky. That was awesome. They had a really, really sweet match. And, you know, Joey Ryan, probably the most important wrestler in PWG, so it was great emotional send-off. TNA. If you work for TNA now, you can't wrestle on independent shows that sell DVDs because TNA signed a distribution deal with some sort of company. So yeah, like I said, Mystery Vortex, excellent stuff from top to bottom. El Generico and Rich Swan was pretty sweet as well. That was amazingly athletic. So yeah, awesome stuff. Mystery Vortex, probably the second best PWG show of the year. You could argue this being the top 10 PWG show of all time. I thought it was that good. So everyone, out of all 3 shows, this is definitely the show to get. And next up we have DDT4 2013. This was You know, very, very quick. You know, I think DDT is more of like a you know, a springtime show. I felt like in January it just kind of felt out of place. Obviously, El Generico signed with the WWE. This is the last chance to put, you know, Kevin Steen and El Generico together again. So yeah, it was great. It was a great. It's an emotional show. It was really cool to see Generico get the send off. As far as the wrestling goes, I felt like PWG was I felt like the whole roster was kind of hitting that burnout phase. So it was kind of nice to see them kind of cool off in this show. Not any like match of the year candidates. A lot of the matches, you know, the Young Bucks got cheap roll-ups, so a lot of people didn't like a lot of the finishes. Personally, I would have had Steen and Generico and the Briscoes in the finals because of the history those teams have, but, you know, for some fucking reason, PWG always has to put the Young Bucks in the finals of every DDT4. I mean, they won 2009. They won, they were in the main event of 2010. They won 2011. And now they win again in 2013. I don't know. I just felt like we were seeing the same shit over and over again. And I felt like a lot of the matches they didn't have that feel to it. Like, I think PWG is kind of getting a little bit burned out. The bar's been set so high. I just don't know. I'm glad they're taking a couple months off, and hopefully they'll come back strong with All-Star Weekend. So DDT4, I can't recommend this for people that don't really follow PWG. You know, this is not definitely a good show to start with, but if you're an El Generico fan, definitely check it out. It's just for Steen and Generico fans, it was just an awesome moment at the end, even though, you know, it didn't really have, you know, that magical Steen and Generico match. And personally, I would have had the Briscoes and Steen and Generico meet in the finals. I think that would have been a much better way to go. And yeah, you also had Sami, Callihan, Drake Younger. They had a pretty hardcore match, but, you know, nothing on this show really, you know, blew me away. I would say the match of the night was actually the Inner City Machine Guns and the Young Bucks. Inner City Machine Guns is actually Ricochet and Swan taking on the Bucks. I thought they stole the show. But as far as the show goes, very well branded. You had a lot of, you know, interesting tag teams, the Unbreakable Fucking Machines of Michael Elgin and Brian Cage. I thought they, you know, that's just a nice tag team there. It just really mixed, it was very well branded. Eddie Edwards and Roderick Strong, the Young Bucks, Future Shot, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole. Overall, fun show, fun tournament, but definitely one, you know, probably the weakest DDT over the last couple of years. So, but definitely check out for the emotional and awesome Steen and Generico celebration at the end. That came off really cool. So there you go. Take it easy, guys.